Alright, good morning. Today we're looking at a roly-poly Class B transport ship that I've been playing around with. This is basically a shortened version of another ship that I built I think it was about a month ago. But kind of kept it in the back of my mind. I wanted to do a little bit of a tile build, so I think just nearly every part on this is tile. And it came out pretty good. I got the cargo up to, I think it's around 3,600. I've found that around 4,000 cargo on a Class B is about as high as you can get and still maintain the 100 mobility. So I'm pretty close to the cap. But anyways, we'll get down. I'll take a little tour through it, take it apart, put it together, and then we'll take it into combat. It's not a big ship. These tile builds are not the best for like maximizing your space efficiency. Whoops. They got this nice rounded look to everything. 2 gears on this side, 2 gears on the other side. I'm using 2 of these tile engines in the back, and then 2 of these slate narrow space directly in between. And then I got that one cargo strapped to the back. Had a little bit of extra room at the end, and that's what I decided to put it at. Got the conduction grid there. There's a comm spike on top. Inside just takes you into this little 1x1 storage unit. Deck 2 is same thing. And then deck 3 is your crew hab. And the reason that these are just 1x1s is because directly on the other side of this bulkhead is a Galleon S204 cargo hold, and there's another one directly behind this cargo bulkhead. So if you wanted to add another hab, like a 2x1 hab, you could just delete one of the Galleon S204 cargo holds and just make this a 2x1 hab right here. But since I don't travel with crew for the most part, I'm not going to do that because I want to have the cargo space.
We're asking everyone. Sure, have at it.
So this is the roly-poly. As you can see, this is the ship that I made the last video. This is the Mortal Wombat. I like the way that came out. That actually came out pretty nice looking. So if we look at our stats, 30 light year jump range, 100 mobility, max crew of 6, and the cargo is 3,510. I actually could get a little bit more cargo in here, I think. The problem is if I add one more ton, because I'm at 1,600 mass, right? I still have 100 mobility, but now you see I have some errors. Ship has too few landing gears, so going over 1,600 means I need to add another gear somewhere, and I don't have anywhere to put it. So even though usually the mobility, because I always make ships with 100 mobility, usually that's the cap of where I have to stop when adding mass. But in this case, it was landing gears, because these landing gears are they only have 2 thrust. And if you take the top off, you can see I got a Galleon S204 there and one here. That's why there's only 1x1 companionways right there. But anyways, 3,510 cargo, max crew of 6. The shields, I'm using that Vanguard Bulwark shield generator. That's 1450. And I actually got some decent weapons on this. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to, I thought I was going to have to add some spines on the top to add some weapons, but it turns out that you're able to just cram these Class A weapons. You can't put a Class B down here. So I have that Horizon Weapons mount. This is a Class B weapon, and it goes on top, but it won't go on the bottom. They're just too big. But I found these Vanguard Obliterators fit just perfectly. So I got one there, and one strapped to the side of this reactor. So it had enough ports. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. yeah, 14 total hard points for weapons. So, when you're building these compact builds, it's usually a challenge to figure out, because I've never built a ship with less than full weapons, and I'll just keep tinkering and tinkering and tinkering until I figure out a way to make it work. Because, like I said, all my ships have 100 mobility, and all of them have maxed out weapon groups, all three of them. So it's just a matter of shoehorning it all in there and then figuring out how to increase the cargo as high as I can before I run out of either mobility or, in this case, landing gear. But it's a small ship. It's only 40 meters by 26 meters. So, anyways, give me a minute. I'll take this thing apart. We'll put it together, and then we'll take it out for some combat trials. Alright, I've got this thing taken apart. Starting off with the top, we have a ship bed at 200 landing bay. We're going to connect that to a Tayo companionway 1x1, and I used the bottom B. Directly behind that, we're going to use a Galleon S204 cargo hold. Directly on top of this cargo hold, we're going to use another Galleon S204 cargo hold. Directly on top of the Tayo companionway 1x1, we're going to use a Tayo companionway 1x1 mid. And then directly in front of that, and on top of the ship bed 200 landing bay, I'm using a DC-303 fast ignition reactor. On the sides, we're going to connect a Tayo braking engine port. We are not going to connect that there, sorry. We're going to connect a pinpoint 4G landing gear and port, which is going to be left. Starboard is the right. Another pinpoint 4G landing gear port right there. Now I can connect this Tayo braking engine port to the front. And then in the back, we're going to connect our first engine, which is going to be a Nova 1050, just like that. Directly connected to these Galleon S204 cargo holds, we're going to use two of these Slayton Aerospace engines. These are the 5660s. These are the most powerful Class B engines that you can get in the game currently. And we're just going to use two of them to fill in the gap there. And then on the other side, we're going to connect our second Nova 1050 engine. Our pinpoint 4G landing gear starboard, the number 3 gear, and then the number 4 gear will be a fourth pinpoint 4G landing gear on the starboard side. And then we'll connect our second Tayo braking engine starboard, just like that. So that's the basic layer, or the first two layers of the ship. Layer 3 is going to start off with this Tayo control station 2x1 top B. It goes on just like that. And then the reactor is an Aurora 13G grav drive, just like that. And then our bridge is going to be this Himeji command bridge. I think you can only get this at the actual Tayo headquarters. I could be wrong, but I think you have to go to the Ryujin headquarters and then go to speak to the their shipbuilding Tayo, floor, and then the lady there will sell these bridges. But I don't think you can get it at the normally I just build these things like at the landing port outside of Neon when I'm doing Tayo builds. But like I said, I think you have to go inside the actual Ryujin headquarters and get the bridge. The Titan 550 HE3 fuel tank, left. And then the Titan 550 HE3 tank, right. Let's see, on the back of the reactor, or excuse me, on the back of the grav drive, we're going to snap on this 100 CM ballast cargo hold. Our Vanguard bulwark shield generator will go just like that. So far, other than this, you have to get these ballast cargo holds at UC ports. So like New Atlantis, you can pick these up here. You can't get these type of cargo holds at Freestar Collective. So it means you can't go to Cheyenne. You can't go to Neon, and you can't go to the Apollo systems to get these. You can get them at, I guess, New or on Titan and New. Well, I don't know. I always get them at New Atlantis, and I think they're available at Deimos as well. On the bottom for our Docker, we're going to use this 100 DP Slim Docker, and we're going to stick it right there. I like these. The reason I use these shipbed 200 landing bays is if you ever noticed, these are the small single 1x1 Dockers, and they always have, when they're 1x1, they always have a door in the back, and that door has to connect to a hab. And having a hab down at the bottom allows you to put the Docker down at the bottom, because the Docker has to connect to a hab. If you have these the bigger Dockers, I don't know if there's any that you can get at this port. I meant bays, not Docker, sorry. Okay, so we do. Now, this is a 2 length. See how it's longer? If you look, the ones that are 2 squares long will always have a ladder going up. So that means you have to have the hab connecting on the top. And you could do that. You could put the longer one in there, and that would work just fine. But you can't put the Docker on the bottom anymore because there's no hab to connect it to. So the reason I use this Taio shipbed landing bay in so many of my builds is so I can put this Docker right there and keep it on the bottom. And I could put it on the top. There's really nothing to prevent me. I do have the spot here. I could stick it up there, but I like to keep it out of the way, just kind of hide it down at the bottom. I thought for the longest time that this was the only Docker you could flip, and then I was watching a guy on YouTube building his ship, and he's got the one that you can get from Neon, and it's like it sticks out a little bit, but it's pretty thin. And I watched him flip it around, and I was just like, holy shit, I had no idea you could do that. So that's cool. Kind of cap off for aesthetic purposes in front of this DC-303 fashion ignition reactor. I'm just going to use a HopeTech Nose B4. I'm just going to snap it on there, and that's just to kind of hide the reactor back there. Now, on the on top of this grav drive, I'm going to put an equipment plate. And these are manufactured by Taio, so you can pick these up at Neon. And I think you can get them at Cheyenne as well. And this is going to allow me to hook up my comm spike on the back. Now it's just a matter of hooking up my guns. So I'm using 4 PBO 175 auto helion beams. And those are the 4 there. And on top of the landing gears, there's 4 hard points. I'm using 4 of the PBO 100 auto neutron beams. And then the third is going to be 6 of these Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors. So I put the PBO 100 auto neutron beams, like I said, I don't think that matters. You could switch them out. You could put the 175s down here if you want. But the Class A Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors have to be mounted on the bottom position of these Horizon Weapons mounts. So let me put that back on there. You'll see what I'm saying here in a second. So, like I said, you got to have this Vanguard Obliterator. It has to be a Class A weapon down here at the bottom, because these Class B and Class C weapons are just too big. They won't fit down there. But these auto projectors are some of the best weapons in the game. So they're 2 power, which means you can have 6, and they're just really, really good. On the other side, we'll do the same thing. Just hook up. And then we got this one. What am I missing here? Oh, that's on this side. I forgot. So you got the 2 mounted here, like I was saying. They have to be Class A weapons. And then I also put on the sides of these DC-303 fashion ignition reactor, I put 2 of these weapons mounts just right there. And that lets you put a Vanguard Obliterator projector on the side of the reactor. And I don't think, no, you can't put a Class B weapon there either. So that also has to be a smaller Class A weapon. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side of the reactor, just like that. So now we have all our weapons mounted. And then I already have the comm spike up here and the conduction grid. I just put on a weapons mount and we'll stick it right there. I could put another equipment plate right here and then stick it, you know, the conduction grid right here, and I don't know. But right now I just kind of got it sitting down here on this thing. And now originally I was going to put another thing over here, but you know, put the comm spike down at the bottom. But it doesn't fit. It's too big. So I'm just going to mount that on the back there, and we'll just leave that there for now. So this is the ship. You see we're nominal. As I said before, for weapons, I got 6 Vanguard Obliterator projectors, 4 PVO 175 auto helion beams, and 4 PVO 100 auto neutron beams. So it's pretty heavily armed. It's got second best Class B shields. Plenty of fuel. I like these Titan 550s, or the Titan fuel tanks themselves, because you can downgrade them. Let's say you didn't need, this gives me 320 fuel. If we didn't need that, we could delete one of these 550s and add like a 450. Like say you wanted to save some weight, then you could delete that, put that up there, and now we save 5 tons of mass, or 5 kilograms of mass. And they look the same, you know, once you paint it. They're the same size. So they're really easy to really help trim out your weight to get it just exactly where you want it. Damn. There we go. So anyways, that's the ship. And then like I said, at the very end, I had a little bit of weight, mass left over. So I tried this 100 cm ballast cargo hold, and it was the exact weight that I needed. It put me right at 1600. And which is, you know, because anything more than that, and it's just going to tell me that like if I try to put another weapons mount right there, I have an error now, and it's going to tell me I need more landing gears. Ship has too few landing gears. So 1600 is my hard cap. That's it. It's a simple ship. Just like I said, I wanted to do a Taio build. I think the only pieces that don't come from Taio are this landing gear. Excuse me, this cargo bay. You can get this at New Atlantis. This trim piece right here, it comes from Hopetown in the Polvo system. And this docker comes from New Atlantis as well. But everything else can be purchased at the Neon or at the Taio. You know, Taio is Ryujin's shipbuilding company. So you just go to Ryujin headquarters, and they have a Taio floor that you can go to and buy all this crap. But let's get into orbit. Take a look at it. I call it the Roly Poly because it kind of looks like the bug, little pill bug. I have no crew members on board right now. I'm still waiting after posting my my smallest ship build possible guide, and I had multiple people telling me that that wasn't the smallest ship. So for you guys, I hope you're watching this video. I'm still waiting on your response to show me a smaller ship somewhere. Alright. So the cargo, I have the payloads skill, which increases my cargo by 50%. So that pushes me up to 5,528 cargo. My shields are 2,320, and you see my weapons are all over 100 power. Oops. So, anyways, I'm real happy with the way this. It's got. Let me rebalance this out real quick. I don't think I'll have any problems in combat with this ship. See, he's trying to line up on me there. That's why I keep boosting to try to break his lock. So that was what, 3 ships? Hostile activity. Let's try this area. As always, this is NG plus 10. And then on to very hard difficulty. Come on, boost. Like I said, combat is not difficult in this game. I thought when they said they were going to increase the difficulty, so every time you go to a new NG Plus game, that the space combat was going to become more and more difficult. So I figured, you know, NG plus 10 being the highest, that it would be, you know, significantly more difficult, but it really wasn't. But whatever. And, you know, maybe it's not that difficult because I have literally every combat skill except for this robotics, but that doesn't do anything for space combat. So I've maxed out all that stuff. I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm like 2,000, or excuse me, 211 level. I gotta do something with these skill points. I've been just slacking.
Are you prepared to face judgment?
So I took a little bit of damage there. These Prophecy 3s, they, I don't know, they do a lot of damage. And the Eulogy, basically anything that's got the 3 in the name is going to hit pretty hard. That's okay, we'll get them.
The engines are down.
I found out another thing not too long ago. Like, see, I just repaired. When you go to a repair facility and actually pay the guy money to repair your ship, he only repairs hull damage. He doesn't repair your systems over here. So the only way to repair all this crap is to just put power into it, and then it'll, you know, it'll just repair itself after a while. But yeah, see, all my systems are repairing themselves now. Let's put a little bit more power into the grav drive. There we go. See, I just repaired. So anyways, that's the roly-poly. Let's go into try to face the star and then boost. Tap the thrusters, escape, photo mode, T, and then we can look at this from the side. I always face into the sun, so it gives me a little bit more light on the ship so you can see it better. But this is it. It's like I said, it's a small ship. I typically don't like building the really large ships, although my little Beluga ship that I built not too long ago was I like the way that that came out. That was a nearly max size ship. But the only complaint I have with these small ships, and I've seen some other people online complaining about it when I post these things, is the guns are basically just firing through each other. But when you're dealing with, it's not like it's not a glitch or anything. It's just the game doesn't see it as an issue. It's the same reason why you can put like shields inside the ship. You can put engines behind one another and they'll still work. It's just like I said, it's not that kind of game. It doesn't really see that as a physics problem. But anyways, I guys hope you liked it, and let's see what I come up with next time. Talk to you later.